Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to show the unboxing of KanaKit Raspberry Pi 4 and installation of the operating system along with setup. I'm using Pi 4 Starter Max kit that has 4 GB RAM and 64 GB storage. Other specifications are also available in the market. It will be a credit card sized computer. There are also different components in the box which we will look in detail in this video. What is Raspberry Pi? It is a small silent form factor single board computer. You can use it for different kinds of projects like digital signage, robotics, virtual gaming console, Pi-hole for ad blocking and network monitoring, and the list goes on and on. It's a great tool for learning Linux and coding. If you want to know more about Raspberry Pi projects, you can search it from Google and YouTube. You will find more innovative and interesting projects to try out. MacPi is their official free magazine from Raspberry Pi. There you'll find more Raspberry Pi based projects. This is how the unboxed Raspberry Pi kit looks. The Starter Max kit has the Raspberry Pi 4 with 4 GB RAM. It includes 64 GB micro SD card with preloaded operating system knobs and a USB card reader. There is a KanaKit USB-C power supply and Pi switch. 3 heat sinks are also provided in the kit. There are 2 micro HDMI cables. The kit also comes with a case and a quick start guide for reference. When you have closer look at the Pi board, there are number of connectors all around the board. This is Ethernet connector, which is gigabit Ethernet port. We have 2 numbers of USB 3.0 ports and we have 2 numbers of USB 2.0 ports. This side we have a 3.5 mm audio jack. We have dual micro HDMI connector so we can run our dual monitors. We have USB-C power connector. On the other side we have DSI display connector. Here we can fix Raspberry Pi touchscreen. On the other side, here we have 40 pin GPIO header and 4 pin PoE header. Using this we can power on the Raspberry Pi through Ethernet rather than using micro USB-C type power connector. When you turn around the board to bottom side, we have this micro SD card slot. Here we are going to insert our SD card which contains the operating system. On the top side we have few other components. This is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth module. This is CPU. Here we have to fix our larger size square heatsink. This one is RAM. Here we have to fix our rectangular heatsink. This is USB 3.0 controller. Here we have to fix our smaller size square heatsink. The case can be dismantled into 3 parts. On one of them, fix the fan. On the other, fix the Pi board. The red and black cables from the fan need to be plugged into the respective GPIO header pins of the PI board. Finally, assemble the case back. Now we are going to plug all of the different components into our Raspberry Pi. Now we'll start by plugging in mouse and keyboard. I have plugged them into USB 2.0 ports so that I can reserve my USB 3.0 ports for devices like external hard drive which may need faster speeds. Next, on the other side we are going to plug in our HDMI cable. If you are having only one monitor, plug into HDMI 0, which is the port closer to power. Next we are going to plug in a network cable into Ethernet port, which is optional because we are having wireless chip on the board itself, so you can connect to your wireless network using this. I am going to use Ethernet, which is going to be faster, at least for the initial setup. Now take your USB-C power supply and plug it into the back end of the power switch. There is a red LED on the power switch, which is on, and the power switch is on, and it is off when the power switch is off. Make sure it is off. Finally, we have to plug in the power switch to Raspberry Pi power connector. Okay, now we are completely set up and ready to use it. Next step is prepare your SD card. As I have CanaKit Raspberry Pi starter kit that has noobs pre-installed on the micro SD card. If you don't have the one, you have to format your SD card and download the latest software from the Raspberry Pi website. Finally, transfer your downloaded file into the root of your micro SD card. Now insert the micro SD card into the slot. Once everything is plugged in, switch on the power button. We should immediately see our screen come alive here. Raspberry Pi is booting up on the screen. Once Raspberry Pi boots up, this is the screen that we are going to see. Raspbian Full is our recommended first choice now. I see this list because I have connected with Ethernet cable, but if you are connected with Wi-Fi network, you may see only Raspberry Pi Full in this list. Click on this Wi-Fi network here. You will see the list of networks here. Then select your network from the available list. Once you have connected, you will also see this list. Now I am going to install Raspbian Full. So check the box next to Raspbian Full and click install and confirm this. Click yes. Raspbian will install now. Once the installation has finished, click OK. Your Raspberry Pi will reboot. After the reboot, you will see this welcome screen with Startup Wizard. You will see your IP address here. If you are connected with Wi-Fi, you may not see your IP address here. I will show you how to connect to Wi-Fi within some time. Click Next to get started. Select your country, United States, language, American English, time zone, New York, use keyboard. Click Next. We need to change our password now. Enter your password now and click Next. This is setup screen. The desktop should fill the entire screen. If your screen has a black border at the edges, click the checkbox below. Mine doesn't have a black border at the edges. Now click Next. Here we have the option to connect to our Wi-Fi network. Here you can see all the available networks. If you want to connect to Wi-Fi, select your network and click Next. As I have already connected with the Ethernet cable, I am just going to click skip. Now we have to update the software. Click next. If we get any error, we'll run these updates manually. Updates completed. Click OK. Now the setup is complete. Click restart. Now we are back after reboot. Now you can see your screen extends all the way up to the edge of the monitor. Now let's see how to update the software manually. Open up a terminal window. Click on the black box icon here. It's a Linux command prompt. In terminal, run the following commands: sudo apt-get update. It will check the new packages available to update. And issue sudo apt-get upgrade -y. As I have already updated, there is nothing to be updated. But if you have updates, it will run those updates over here. Now our system's completely up to date. Now we are going to check some additional configuration. Click on Raspberry icon and select Preferences and select Raspberry Pi configuration. In this screen, under the System tab, if you want to boot to CLI instead of to the desktop, you can do it here. We can give hostname for Raspberry Pi here. Now we are going to disable auto login. It will be more secure if we type password every time when we log in. Click on Interfaces tab. Enable SSH and then enable VNC. This SSH will allow us remote CLI access to the Raspberry Pi, and VNC will allow us to open a remote desktop using this VNC viewer. Now click OK to finish. To remotely connect to our Raspberry Pi, we need to know the IP address of Raspberry Pi first. Open the terminal. Issue ifconfig command. Copy this IP address 192.168.1.173. This is our IP address. Now I'll do VNC and SSH to the Raspberry Pi from my Windows PC. First we'll see how to connect to Linux CLI using SSH. We have two ways to connect. After Windows 10 recent update, you can natively SSH from your command prompt. Open your Windows command prompt, type SSH pi @ IP address of your Raspberry Pi. My case, it is 192.168.1.173. Hit enter. Now it will check for the fingerprint. Are you sure to want to continue connecting? Say yes. Hit enter. It will ask only for the first time. Enter your password. Now you are remotely connected to a Raspberry Pi CLI using Windows command prompt. Now we will SSH to our Raspberry Pi CLI using PuTTY terminal. PuTTY is free tool to download. It will allow you to save your session, so we don't need to remember our IP address always. After launching the putty, connection type SSH. In the host name, type your Raspberry Pi IP address -192.168.1.173. If you want to save your session, type your session name here. Click save. Now you can load your session from here anytime. Click open. Now putty is checking the fingerprints. Accept the keys. Now log in as username Pi. Enter. Type your password here. Now we have logged into Raspberry Pi CLI using putty terminal instead of window terminal. So far we have remotely connected with the Raspberry Pi CLI using Windows command prompt and putty terminal. Now we are going to remotely access our Raspberry Pi desktop instead of CLI. For that we are going to download VNC viewer from realvnc.com. Go to realvnc.com. Click download. Click VNC viewer. Then click download VNC viewer from here. After downloading, install the VNC viewer. Follow the instructions in the setup wizard. Once the VNC viewer is launched, you will see this page. You can type your Raspberry Pi IP address here, or you can go to file, click new connection. In the VNC server, type your Raspberry Pi IP address -192.168.1.173. Type the name. I'll give Raspberry Pi. And click OK. Just double click on this. Now this Raspberry Pi will be available whenever you are opening this VNC viewer. Now it is checking the fingerprints again. Do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue. Click continue. Enter your username and password here. My username is Pi. And type your password. Now click OK. Now we are remotely connected to our Raspberry Pi desktop. We can do everything from our remote PC, what all the things we are doing from our local Raspberry Pi. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel.